Hello and welcome everybody. Today we are going to do something different. So as you know, I work in two areas. I create demos and I create enablement or learning materials for some software, right? And we rarely touch on the demo part. So today is demo part, and the tool of choice is DemoEasel, and I'm going to use a trial version of it, which creates a trademark, a watermark, but it's a tool for professionals. It's not for your home use, unfortunately, but when you're a professional and you have the capacity to buy a license, this thing becomes really, really handy. So what is DemoEasel? It's a really small software, tiny, itsy bit, I don't know how it's called, very, very small, like 20 megabytes at the most, I think, if you delete the tutorials. But it's super focused on one thing, creating click-through demos, right? And we will start with recording. So how to record a good demo using DemoEasel. First thing first, you need to understand what you're going to record. You cannot just click on everything and think, well, you know what, I'm going to cut those parts off later, and this would be my demo. Of course, you can do that, but it's going to be really, really painful, and it goes for everything DemoEasel, it goes for video recording of any sort. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be sitting and editing that thing forever. So figure out first what you want to do. Click on those things. Remember, make a note, a script, or put on a second screen, whatever. But just don't mess with it with software that you don't know and try to think that this is going to be your demo, right? You click on new demo. You say start capture, and the first window that you will click, this is the resolution that the DemoEasel will try to capture. Of course, I think it would be more relevant for the last resolution of the active window. So when you go, for example, to full screen and back, probably is going to capture the one that is in the back or something like that. But first thing we know to touch, this is the resolution that is going to capture. And now we're going to fool around. So we're going to be typing things. We're going to be hovering over things, and basically this is our demo. Now it will capture everything except for the bottom parts, and this is very bad. Why? Because at some point you might want to take two demos that you recorded on different dates, and you want to glue them together, stitch them together, I don't know, adjust one to another, make them whole, I don't know. And if the resolutions don't match, or the theming of your windows doesn't match, you are going to have some bad time convincing people that your demo is the demo that you want, right? So instead, you will go to F11, right? And you'll capture some more things, some clicks, some, I don't know, Gmail. And when you're done, you click on F11 and you tell the DemoEasel that is you're done. That's it, you're done. Okay, it says capture is paused. You can capture more and you can abstract the demo. Now, this is very powerful tool because during the recording, if you remember, I stopped for a minute and I was talking way too long. DemoEasel doesn't matter. For it, that doesn't matter. What matters to it are the moving frames. Okay, so as you see, this is the resolution of the very, very, very first window that I clicked. It was unmaximized Chrome. And I say, you know what? I want to capture the whole window. So what am I doing? I'm clicking set the crop manually. I confirm that I want to make it manual, and I'll go and just click and release it at the very end of the corner over here. I'll do the same for the bottom part over here. Now I need to click it. Okay. And all right. So I zoom on bottom right and I want to see, well, is it really the end of the corner? And as you see, I'm recording inside of an RDP, which with a weird size, but this is a full RDP resolution that I can get from this specific RDP. So whatever demo I'm recording, whatever window I'm using, if I'm doing it at full screen, I can attach all of those demos one to another, and this is very, very handy. Of course, it's better to record using a full screen. And when you do it in full screen, the resolution should be 1920 by 1080, full HD. This is the best resolution for your demos. Okay, so you click done and you give the name to your demo. So it's going to be demo 1, right? All right, so this is how it looks like. Now you can present the demo. Okay, and it gives you a little bit of a briefing, what you can do. And here's how it looks like. Basically, every click that I made, I can go and click on it. Okay, but it's more than that. You see, there is like click in the red box. I can add notes, and we're gonna do it later. Then I click on that button, and it types instead of me. So there is like a lot of garbage here because while I was explaining, I was clicking like crazy, right? But then we went to a full screen, and it's still showing the full screen. And then it shows everything that we need. Now, I don't know where's the red box at the moment. I don't see it on my screen. Probably you might see it here in the G, but I don't want to guess and stumble my demo too long. So I'll click on Tab key, and it will automatically move the mouse to where I want it to be. And actually, I can click through the whole demo using just this technique. All right, so I'm happy with the demo. I go click the S key, and now let's talk about how to edit the demo, right? So the demo is captured, and someone else might have captured it for you using the trial license key. Doesn't matter. Capturing is free. Rendering to the final version, this is where the license money goes. So everybody can edit, everybody can capture, not everybody can export. Only the licensed version can export. So what you see here is the preview of what's happening, and this on the step you have the full menu over here, and I want to click here on more, and I want to change to expert. Why? Because it allows me to make those changes. And there are also actually several missing functionalities here in terms of the buttons, but if you go to documentation, you'll know that you can import and export frames. You can, for example, you want to export this frame, add the logo somewhere and import it back, and maybe import it into a whole sequence, and DemoEasel is able to do it for you, but this is advanced stuff. Let's talk about the simple editing. So first thing first, we need to see some terminology. So you see, when you go through steps using left and right keys or using those keys at the top, some of the frames are colored gray and some of them are white. And this means how much time do they take? What is the speed? Because it also captures animations, right? And you say, well, you know what? While I was recording, I was very careful and some of the things just took too long and I want to shorten them. So you'll go to those long frames and you just frame by frame, you can shorten them. Or if you go down and up, you'll see that, okay, so at some point, we don't care what this, and this frame. You see, when I switch between those three frames over here, 39, 38, 37, nothing happens on the screen. So maybe I can delete them. So I'll press the H key, or I'll just use the hide button, and I'll hide those three frames that were slowing me down. So now a step that was slow now would be actually much faster. So let's test run it. So I click, and then it types. That was the step. Now, also, I have a lot of garbage here. And when I go through the whole thing, you'll see that there is a lot of garbage. And I want to eliminate this garbage. This click is not important to me, so I'll hide it. I click the H key. This click is not important. I click the H key. This click is not important. So I'm just hiding all of the frames that I don't like until I get to the one that I want. This is the one that I want. So let's test run it. When I test run it, it switches to the window, then it does some stuff, and only then I can click it. So something weird happened. My demo wasn't doing anything active or useful for me for a while, and then it gave me the opportunity to click on this field. Now, in my demo, this is the start of the demo. Everything before it was garbage. So let's say I want to eliminate frames 0 to 30. All right, fantastic. I'll go with frame 0, type it here. I'll go with frame 30 over here as well, and I say hide all. So this is my beginning. And now I will add a note. Notes are very important, and I recommend putting them on a side and copy pasting them inside the demo, because this is not a text editor, this is just a field. So definitely a text editor is the way where you type and write your stuff, and here is where you implement them by just pasting them inside. It just makes it makes your life easier, right? So we're gonna do just that. So I'm gonna do with Notepad, and oh come on, Notepad. Right? And I'm going to say step 1, click on the text bar in the middle. Of course, you can use any text editor you want. Okay, so this is going to be my step number 1. I'll copy, I'll paste it, and now this is click on text number 1 in the middle. So when I test run it, I get the note, and I get the rectangle. Let's say I'm in demo mode and I don't want to see it. I press F1 and everything disappears, and now it looks like a real software, right? All right, we're stopping the run and we're continuing further down. So frame 40 to 52, it's doing everything really well, and now I kind of have to press enter in order for it to work, but I don't know what would be my next step, right? So next step doesn't bring me anything. So this field is not going to be used until I press F11. All right. So instead, since now that I know that I'm not pressing enter in this demo, I need to clean it up furthermore. So I will make this click huge, because I know that the next action in the demo is actually switching to a full screen. So I want to use it as a transition in PowerPoint, let's say, where you click anywhere and it just does something for you. And I'll add edit node, and I'll say, you know what, step 2, press click to switch to full screen. Okay, click what to click? Click the screen. All right, now because this is a demo and those are speaker nodes per se for someone that knows what he's doing, so with the speaker would need to understand in real software, come on, don't embarrass me. In real software, the user will press F11. Okay, something like that. Copy and paste. All right, so we have ourselves 2 steps. So we test run it, it goes 1 step afterwards, and then it goes and allows me to click anywhere I want before it progresses to the next step. Okay, fantastic. So now we have all of this, but the typing is just too fast, right? So I want to go frames 40 to 50, and I want to slow them down. So frame 40 to frame 50, I'm going to make them 10% slower. Let's test run it. All right, I want to make them 40 to 50. I want to make, by the way, I was pressing shift and then it would put everything here in that context until the click itself. I want to make it slower and even slower twice, right? So now it's 30% slower. Let's test run it. All right, much better. Let's slow it down furthermore. Slower. All right, test run it. Okay, now it looks like someone was typing in an auto machine. So here we go to next step by clicking right key. And if I eliminate this click because it's not necessary, it would just go to next one, and then to next one, and then to next one, and again to next one before switching to the full screen. However, if I test run it, you see it will hover over those 2 things and only then switch to the full screen. So this is garbage. While I know that for real, switching to full screen takes about half a second, maybe 1 second for software, the hovering action over here that was captured somewhere here, you see this one? Indicates that someone was playing with a mouse before something happened. So it shows that, you know, that this recording is not clean. So I want to eliminate just the clean parts. So I will be just going with my up and down keys, and now eliminate the frames that I don't want. So it's going to be hide. You know what? By mistake, I hit them all, and now when I test run it, right, it types correctly, and then it switches to full screen immediately, which is not good because I need some animation to happen, and I deleted all frames because it sucks to be me. So what I would like to do, I would like to go ahead and put the frames back where they were. So those were frames 53 to the frame 83, right? So it's going to be 53 to frame 83 because I know it's from numbers because this is the jump in the frames. And I'm going to show it all. Okay, and now it will actually type. It doesn't type. Now all of those hovers happened, right? But I want to continue until it has some kind of action related to switching to full screen. Okay, so we have this thing F11 exit to full screen until it fades in. So now I know that I need to eliminate frames 53 to 81 because those frames don't include any data, but what I want to see this small thing in the next step, which shows the fade in of F11, because this is how the software behaves, right? And we want to capture it because this makes it real and the demo would be real. Okay, now there is another click in the text bar, and then another hover and another click here on the G. Right, so I say, you know what, this G is too small. When I was examining the demo in the beginning, I did not understand what was I looking at, right? Where is my next frame? And I had to use the tab key in order to find the space. Now I want people to click the logo. So I'll just drag and drop this frame, adjust the size, and now this is the clickable. Uh, this is the clickable area. Fantastic. All right. So now we will go and we'll see that it actually fades to the next best thing, which is Gmail. Now it's too small. Well, you can keep it small, but you want your presenter not to look for stuff because then they would be stuttering during the demo, right? And then we navigate to next step, and it's not important. And basically, we are at the end of our demo, as it says here at the bottom. All right, so let's go to the very first step and see what we got. So test run, we click, and it types everything. Now it says click the screens to switch to full screen. We do that. Click in red box, click on this, click on Gmail, and this is the end of the demo. So we had one unnecessary click, which was actually done with this text field. So I'm going to hide it. I'm going to hide those frames that were dealing with mouse hovers in the wrong places. I still need to add a node, so it's going to be click the logo. All right, this is fantastic. And also, I want to export it to PNG, so I can export it actually really fast. I'll go and I click export, and it exported frame 103, which is really great. And now I want to fix that. I'll go to demos, demo one, and I have this frame, so I'll edit it using paint, for example, and I'm going to add a circle and an arrow over here, and you know what? This is going to be a stick figure that sits in a corner. And I'm going to save it because this is the change. And now you say, I just edited it in Photoshop. I want to fix it with a new version. So because the frame is already named 103 and I edit it here, by the way, using the same resolution, you can bring it from anywhere. I'll go and press Control I, and I'll say, yes, import PNG. And now this is what it did. So what happens if I go with 101 and I say Control I? It cannot load the frame 101, right? It needs to be matching everything. So we will give it another try. And by selecting everything, I'll say import PNG, and it will try to import all of the PNGs at once from 82 to 101, right? So instead, I'll go with frames 103, and let's see how far it takes us. So it's going to be frames 103 to 109. Import PNG. Nothing to import because it matches the frame 103. So it examines it and it says, well, you know what, everything is correct over there. So this is more or less how you do it. Now, there is a way to import an image that would overwrite all of the other ones. It would just try to extrapolate it on all of the other images that are coming afterwards. But we need to read the help files to do that. And you see, I can actually compare where is the difference between each and every frame. Okay, so there is a lot of difference over here and over there. All of this is okay. When you change the frame, you can change it to any type you want, to wait or to click. Now let's talk about some other edits. So let's say somewhere in the middle over here, I want to stop and say, okay, the image is going to appear here in a minute. So I want the presenter to have an opportunity to click the mouse before it changes. Okay, so basically split all of those weights into another click. I select one of the click bars or one of the weight bars here on the left side, and I'll just create a click. And now it's split it into this click and going to the next click. So you can add steps and you can subtract by hiding the clicks here and the end. We click on save, we exit, and now we want to present the demo. We have several things when we present the demo, but also we want to create a package to share, right? And you can create several packages. For example, browser is going to be an HTML5 that can be viewed in any browser, which is really helpful when you want to share your demo real quick with some colleague. And you have the simulation and some keynote and public. Those are a little bit different type of exports, but the most usual one are browsers and simulation. Simulation actually creates a simulation for Mac and for PC, right? So we'll create another package for browser. Okay, and says this will be watermarked, which is fine. Writing the package. Let's create the cloud package to share. Checking cloud demos. Okay. So package to cloud is probably uploading it to some shared space and creating slides. We can create this in PPT. Okay. We'll actually do all of this, like create slides, create HTML demo guide, and then we'll go and we'll create a package to share. We'll say a keynote browser, keynote simulation. So let's make it into keynote simulation. So keynote is just a little bit different, I think, from the presentation perspective. Okay, so now we exported everything. Where is it? It's in the file system. So when you go to DemoEasel folder, it has, for example, demo keynotes. And it has a Mac version and Windows version because we created the simulation. So we will extract it here. And let's see what it does for us. It creates the exe file. It says that it's our evaluation. And as you see, for the keynote, it basically eliminated all of the tooltips. This is what I see, right? So this is the keynote. Actually, whoever is presenting could press F1 and get the same thing. Probably I'm missing some functionality, but I also never use it. It's not very useful. Okay, how do I close it? Nobody knows. I can't close it, so I'll try to use it here. All right, so let's review the real demo, the one that we do like. So it's not going to be keynotes, it's going to be demo packages. And we have the HTML version of it. We'll open it using Chrome. And I'll go full screen because this one allows me to be in full screen all the time. And it's loading, which is great. And I say, okay, let's demo. And I have the same functionality. You see there's help over here, and in order to close help, I probably need to do something else. Yeah, but I still can switch to F11, and the tab key doesn't work here. In order to go to next step, it just doesn't go. But it's very useful because it can be opened on any computer, even on phones, if I'm not mistaken, which is really, really great. Right, but if you don't want a phone and you want a regular demo which is based on simulation, a standalone zip file, right, standalone exe file that is going to present it. Here's how it looks like. As you see, it just presents everything, and it has full functionality with tabs, and you can turn it off by pressing the F1 key, and now you don't have all of those frames, and you can use the tab key in order to present. So a multitude of options that you can use in order to make your demo useful. All right, I hope you liked it. This is more or less how you do it. There are other tricks, for example, how to switch the order of things and how to stitch demos one to another, but that's going to be in a different video. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.